Hello. I'm trying. Ooh, it's bright. Hold on. That's bright too. Hey guys.
Hi, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
I am good. I am so much better because I just got my passport in the mail today.
Oh, thank goodness. That
Yay!
is a big relief.
Ah, so I'm very excited. It wasn't actually supposed to come for another month, and I was kind of panicking because it was supposed to come like near the end of July. So
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, another like weight off my shoulders of having to worry about.
Yeah, they tend to actually like under promise over deliver. It seems like. I feel like
Yeah,
when I had to get my kids' passports last summer, and it was like better than I thought as an experience.
yeah. I'm still
I
waiting. My kids' passports, we did them first, like 2 weeks before I got mine turned in. And I still haven't gotten theirs back yet. But it does
Mhm.
say like in process on the website for them. Mine never said anything. It just always said
Oh,
unavailable. So I was like, oh, I don't know.
great. Is this your first time getting a passport?
No,
Oh,
my last passport was so expired. I had to basically like
start
completely
over.
start over again. And the
So
kids
here's
have never had passports, so I got them the cards.
right. So here's a fun story. So when I was a teacher, I used to take students on trips to London, and like we did this whole like Shakespeare like 2 week itinerary, and
Cool.
it was super awesome. And for like months leading up to the trip, I would have these meetings with the parents and the kids and all this planning and like just hounding into them like all the different details of like international travel and the passports and whatever.
Yeah.
So we get to the airport one day to leave for one of these trips, and Justin was actually coming on this one with me. And I get all the kids checked in, all the parents, like everybody's ready, and I'm like the last one to go up, get checked in so we can go, catch our flight. My passport's expired.
Oh no.
And I was like, well, what?
Oh no.
Are you kidding me? And they're like, yeah, you either have to go to Miami or Houston. And I'm like, wait, no, like that does like my entire trip, my
Oh
kids, my
my
chaperones, my
gosh.
husband, like are literally going to London. Like I have to go to London. They're like, no. So anyway, I ended up flying to Houston. And so like they were flying in the opposite direction. I flew to Houston, spent the worst 24 hours of my life, like alone and waiting for the
Oh my
Houston
goodness.
office to open. And I was at the door sobbing at like 6 a.m. when they opened with my giant bag. And I'm just like hyperventilating and like
Oh
total
my
panic.
gosh.
And they were like, okay, we can. I'm like, I have to get on a plane because I had booked a plane or a flight for that afternoon. So I was going to be able to like catch up with them. So anyway, I
Oh
missed
my
the first,
gosh.
I only ended up missing like the first like day of that trip, but
Yeah.
it was so
What
stressful and
a
awful.
nightmare. Oh my
Don't do that. Hi,
God.
everybody that's hopping on. Cautionary tale, check the expiration date of your passport
Yes.
5 times. Like, check it tonight, check it tomorrow, make sure you
Mhm.
know what today is. Because it is the worst. It was the worst, one of the single worst travel experiences, if not experiences, of my entire life. So, hi, everyone. I was just sharing my expired passport horror story. So, do not have that happen. Yeah. So yeah, if you're waiting, you still got time. So I think most of you guys are on the same trip. Some of you on different trips. And then I know, so I see Melanie here. Spring's hopping in, which is great. So I invited a couple of gals and leaders who are actually not traveling this summer with you guys, because we've all been on multiple trips, and just in case there was different perspectives and additional wisdom to share. And then obviously some of you have been on trips as well. So I want to kind of keep this timely and have not the recording not be super long. So if you could just pop into the chat if this is your first trip, which one you're going on, if you've been somewhere else with Trades of Hope, where you've been. I know some of you have been on obviously like mission trips and different international trips, but if you've ever been on a Trades of Hope trip, drop that in the chat. So Annette, it's her first trip with Trades of Hope. She's on trip 4, first trip. I love it. First trip. Yes. Yeah. Some of you guys, this is your first one because the DR didn't happen, which not too soon to bring up. It's been long enough. We can talk about it now. Lori's never been. Okay, awesome. So, and yeah, so Tamara's been to Haiti. Leslie, this is not your first trip with Trades of Hope, right? You've been. Yeah, okay.
It is my first trip.
It is?
Yes.
Oh,
I was
you're like
supposed
the
to go
queen
to.
of like just missing a trip.
I know. I was supposed to go to the DR, but
That's
yeah,
okay. All right.
it
I
happened.
thought you were in Haiti with like Thekla and that crew, but I guess you weren't. Okay.
Y'all went to Haiti, and then I joined like the next year.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. All right. So I really felt well, a couple different like backstories of why this call is happening. So I have been really, it's been interesting to not be going on a trip for the first time, I think, or in a while for sure. But I've definitely been like thinking about you guys as a group, and I'm just so kind of overwhelmed and excited about the fact that there's so many women going on this trip. That's like kind of the foundation. What do you want? Get out of here. I'm on a call. Yes. And I think it's either 54 or 56. I keep saying 54, and I can't, but I don't know if it's 54 or 56, but that's a lot of partners going on this trip. And I was actually thinking about too, the fact that at our very first retreat that I ever attended with Trades of Hope, like in-person Inspire type retreat, there were 56 of us. I do remember that for sure. And I think about having that amount of women in one place, and I know you're not all going to be in Guatemala at the same time, but that amount of women can absolutely create powerful, like trajectory changing impact for Trades of Hope as a company. So it kept coming into my heart, like this feels really, really important. This group, your trips in this month of August, like my heart's pounding just like as I'm talking about it and thinking about it again. It's really been on my heart, and I really had these thoughts and ideas and things that I wanted to share with you guys, just about kind of the mindsets and the strategies and the heart posture that, you know, even if somebody had told me these things before the trips that I had gone on, I would have been really grateful and even utilized the experience even more. Even though I feel like I've utilized the experiences that I've had, I feel like there's even more space. And so I just want to offer some things. I don't know, some of the things you're going to be like, yeah, okay, duh, Erin. And some of the things you're hopefully going to think are good ideas. And, you know, for those of you that have had a lot of experience with this, again, take it or leave it. But many of you, it is your first experience, and it might not be a mindset in a place that you're in, because we've all taken trips, we've all traveled, we've all been somewhere, maybe not out of the country, but, you know, but this isn't that kind of thing. This isn't a girls' trip. This isn't a, you know, like a birthday weekend, you know, with your husband. This is like, it's something completely different. So what I want to talk about tonight is just some of those mindsets and strategies as you're going into this experience, because it is going to be an experience. It's different than any kind of travel you've ever done. And then tomorrow morning, Shelby and I are doing the call at 11 o'clock with all of the women that are available that are going on the Guatemala trips, to really focus on the booking aspect of the trip. So I'm going to talk about that a little bit tonight, and you might hear some of it repeated tomorrow. I do have a separate set of notes, but it's a slightly different conversation tomorrow. So I've been on 3 trips with Trades of Hope. One was very shortly after becoming a partner, about 15 months after, and I went to Haiti in 2015. I went to Guatemala shortly after that. That was not the trip that you're taking. That was the trip that Gretchen was like, we can never take this trip again. So I'm really grateful that I got to take that trip, but it was really hard. It was very different than what you're going to experience, because I experienced what you're going to experience in 2019, and that was fantastic. The trip I went on to Guatemala the first time, we went to Jalapa. We went to Casa Hogar. It was incredible, but it was like a 6-hour bus ride through the mountains where we had to pull over multiple times so various women could throw up. So it was not like, it's not like the hacienda, like happy hour that you're going to get with the girls, the Mujeres Fuertes in Antigua. slightly different experience. I'm super grateful for it, but I'm glad for the trip that you guys are going on. But each trip was different. Each trip I was in a different place in my business. Each trip exposed me to different aspects of what we're doing at Trades of Hope. And I'm super grateful for each of those experiences. And I have leaned on and utilized all of them for 9 years. I mean, you guys know, I tell the story of Gina and Kristinelli multiple times a week and have for 9 years. So things like that could happen for you. And I hope that they happen for every single one of you. But I do think it takes stepping into the trip with kind of the right heart posture, putting yourself in the right place and the right mindset. I think that everything in life and everything that we do in this business and beyond is really about the story, right? So the first kind of mindset space that I would encourage you to be in is story finding, seeking out the story in everything that you're experiencing. Because there's going to be a story there. There's going to be something. Have somewhere to take notes. Jenny Persick was the best note taker, probably next to Melanie. Melanie's a very good note taker too. But Jenny Persick was like on our 2019 trip, was just like constantly making notes. Plan to do that because you're going to want these stories. You're going to want to compile these things and find the story, your stories from this experience. This is an opportunity, this trip, to build, create, redo your brand as a Trades of Hope partner. Like it can be the thing that you kind of are within your business, that makes you unique within your Trades of Hope business, that gives you this like connection point that nobody else has to your Trades of Hope business and to your customers. So think about your brand as you're experiencing this trip and the stories that you're experiencing. This is also not a regular trip because it's a business investment. You probably had to like use that a little bit with maybe your partner, like, honey, it's an investment in my business. Which it is. It's also going to be super fun, and you're going to have like a lovely spoiled experience in aspects of it. But it is a huge investment in your business. And so treat it like that. You're going on a business trip, and the relationships that you're going to create with your trip mates, these are the women that are your future running partners, the women that you're going to promote to manager and senior and director with this fall, the women that you're going to remember their voices and their laughter long after you return from this experience together. You're going to have bonds with these women like nobody else in Trades of Hope, and possibly even in your life. So fall in love with that. Fall in love with the process of experiencing this unique thing with these women who are doing this business with you, and build those relationships. And you should leave having made goals together, having challenged each other, having started friendships that will last through the rest of your time with Trades of Hope, that are really, really special. And you should leave with so much content and personal connection and validation and confidence from this trip, if you're doing it right, that you'll come back with a different business, but you know, a new chapter to your business. The other kind of heart posture and place that I want to challenge you to put yourself in is that you are ambassadors for Trades of Hope. And all of the women who are passionate, excited, working partners who really, really wanted to go on one of these trips and just couldn't for whatever reason, they're hungry for the experience. And they love that you are there, and they're watching every single thing that you do. And they are cheering you on and rooting you on to be the brave pioneers and really go on sort of this pilgrimage in their stead, representing them. So think about that too. What are you bringing back to Trades of Hope as a whole? What are you feeding this hungry sisterhood with your experiences? You know, how have you felt in the past when other women have gone on a trip? What have you wanted from them? And think about what you can give to this sisterhood. And what can you offer the partners at home? So you know, like I've said, there are 54 women that are going on this trip, that when you come home, because when you come home is really when the magic starts, but we're not home yet. We gotta do before and during. You can change Trades of Hope. So there's no like big secret right now that sponsorship is not good. that sales are not good. Like the book, it was a huge thing, and it's hopefully a great boon and new chapter for Trades of Hope. But the Great Love Nation has sponsored 5 women this month. I think that's what we did last month. Like, that's not sustainable. And the Great Love Nation represents most of Trades of Hope. There are 26 women from the Great Love Nation going to Guatemala of the 54. Like, we represent a lot of what's going on in Trades of Hope. So if our heartbeat is weakening, the company's heartbeat is weakening. If our sales are going down, if our sponsorship is in the crapper, that's what's happening within Trades of Hope. But again, it doesn't take 300 women to change Trades of Hope. It can be changed by a group of 54 women. And I don't say this to create like pressure or guilt or shame. Like, no, you guys know me well enough to know it is really just about fire and about just utilizing something that is happening that you can latch onto and really be brave and move the company forward with, and move your own business forward. Because when you are successful, when you utilize this to the full capacity that it can be, you're not only going to change your business, but you're going to change Trades of Hope. You're going to be the future for our artisans and for the sustainability of our company. So I would just say, trust your Esther moment in this, that you are called for such a time as this, that you are exactly who you are at this exact moment. We didn't go to the DR for a reason. You are going on this trip for a reason. And you have to just trust that and like put it into your heart and take that posture as you walk into this experience. I would also strongly suggest, I know Shelby has been suggesting this book to her teammates. I think if you've never read Chop Wood, Carry Water, it is a very quick read. It's like you could read it in a day, but it is chock full of just really great like mindsets and like doing the work to be wildly successful for all the right reasons. It's by Joshua Medcalf. But it's fabulous. I would order it and read it tomorrow. And that's really going to put you in a great space, a business mindset that has to do with tenacity and grit and grace and doing it for all the right reasons. So those are kind of the mindset. So now I want to go into like the before mindset, the during, and the after. So before, that's where we are right now. You should constantly be like, your daily mantra right now should be, I'm going to Guatemala. I'm going to Guatemala. I'm going to Guatemala. Have you heard? I'm going to Guatemala. And you should be telling everybody that you can tell over and over and over again. You should be talking to your customers. You should be talking to your VIPs. You should be talking to your friends, your family, everybody that you possibly come in contact with in real life or online. You should be talking in some form or fashion, whether it's, I'm going to Guatemala. I got my passport today. I'm going to Guatemala. I picked out a new pair of walking shoes today. I'm starting to pack. Anybody have tips about, I looked up some great Instagram spots. Like what's your favorite type of Guatemalan food? Like, do they have good wine in Guatemala? I'm going to Guatemala. Have you heard? What suitcase should I get? Like all of these things. I'm going to Guatemala. We work with amazing artisans there. Let's have a week in our VIP group and talk, learn all about our Guatemalan artisans so I can be really prepared, because I'm going to Guatemala to meet these amazing women. Creating a connection point with the people around you, like you cannot talk about it too much. And really creating a connection point for your customers is super, super important. So some things that I would challenge you to do in this time right now, between now and the day you leave, as you're in that I'm going to Guatemala mindset. Some ideas: a mystery hostess party leading up to the trip as a fundraiser or a donation that you're going to make for one of our artisan partners in Guatemala. Something tangible. Like I did these little origami paper hearts for the girls at Casa Hogar, and my customers gave me scriptures and prayers and words of affirmation and all kinds of things in the VIP group. They just put it in the comments, and I folded, 200 paper hearts and brought them with me. Super easy to bring origami paper hearts with you in your suitcase. And I distributed them to the girls in the home. But something like that, some kind of tangible connection point that you can literally take from your customer's heart and give to the artisans that you're going to meet. A Guatemala focused week in your VIP group, some kind of theme, education space, learn together. People like to learn with you. People like when you're the expert but people also like to learn along with you. So invite them to learn along with you. Just doing a countdown. Does everybody know how many days it is till you leave? You should know. You should know how many days it is till you go on this trip. And you should be counting it down all the time. 72 days, 65 days, 54 days, 37 days. Like, you should be counting down in all the places where you're talking. Have you heard I'm going to Guatemala? I'm only 25 days out from my trip. What am I talking about today? These are the things that are happening. It should be happening now. I made a recipe for my family tonight, a traditional Guatemalan meal. My kids really hated it. My husband loved it. You know, like, you should be immersing yourself into this opportunity right now. Don't wait. Okay. The trip is a catalyst for everything that's going to happen after, but you start building the momentum right now. You should be doing lots of partying in June and July. I wouldn't suggest partying during the actual physical week that you're in Guatemala, but every other week in August is wide open. And whether it's a before week or an after week, it's fire. It is an opportunity for you to have some of the best parties with the most exciting. I think I sponsored 10 or 11 women the month I got back from Haiti. I sponsored Veronica Martinez the week after I got back from Haiti the first time. This is a time in your business where you will be magnetic, you will be exciting to people, you will be more on fire and just emitting like passion if you put yourself into this space and allow it to come out. Yeah, definitely drop things in the chat. And I'm just sort of like plowing ahead, but feel free, Melanie or Spring or anybody else that is here that I invited separately, if you want to throw your hand up and be like, I want to double, or, you know, just talk about that. Other ideas to connect before. Offer a WAPEAL gift for hostesses in July, August, and September. Like, I'll get you something in Guatemala. I'll get you, and there's tons of things in the WAPEAL market, or things that you can buy directly from our artisan partners. Plan for that kind of shopping. Buy little things. I guarantee Clara's group will have a display, and Laura's group will have a display, and you'll be able to buy beaded things, and you'll be able to buy things from Juana Maria and Maria, and like there'll be things from Claire's group as well. So, but have a special, be an honor hostess. Have a first 5 special. So who are going to be my first 5 hostesses and throw out the date. These are the 5 days I get back. Did I raise my hand? Oh, I put my hand up automatically when I did that. That's so weird. Okay. That's so weird. It put my hand up. Okay. You can have your first 5, and have a special gift for those ladies that host your first 5 parties right after you get back. And then the other thing that you need to do right now, tonight, is make a list of the 10 women that you want to be on your dream team when you return. And you need to find the words and the courage to reach out to them now before your trip. And you need to tell them that you thought of them, that you were challenged to make a list of your dream team. You can say whatever you want to say, whatever's true for you. But who pops into your head right now? I wish she was coming on the trip with me, or I wish she was, part of my Trades of Hope journey. Or I've been thinking about this woman for a really long time. There's got to be some out there, but I'm going to challenge you to make a list of 10. Tell them about the fact that you are thinking about them and praying for them, and that you would love for them to join you in this experience, and that when you come back from the trip, or maybe even while you're in Guatemala, they join you as a new partner. I did throw out some ideas to Gretchen today that I'm going to talk to her about on Thursday, about doing an opportunity event while you guys are in Guatemala that's just for the Guatemala teams, and you can only invite your 10 dream team members, and you have this really special opportunity event in Guatemala. How cool would it be? I want to be invited to that. I want to join Trades of Hope while my sponsors in Guatemala. That's cool. So I want you to do that, because this could be the tipping point for you in a lot of different ways within your business. So make that list of that 10 women. And again, let's think about this. If 54 women each sponsored 10 women, Trades of Hope would be 554 women strong as we enter the fall. If you don't think that would change the face of Trades of Hope and the trajectory of our company, then you're wrong. It would. It would absolutely change things. Even if everybody sponsored 5 women, but sponsor 10. Why not? Why not? This is the time. This is the opportunity for you to do something different in your business. Okay, so that's before. Anything else before that you would throw out there, Mel or Spring? Okay, Spring's saying, I want to second what Aaron shared, prepare your heart to connect with a particular artisan group. I'm saying this because of the recording. This absolutely can become your Trades of Hope brand and your personal story. I joined Hearing Genius Story because Aaron had just met Chris Nelly. Yeah, like yes, you did. So I already knew I wanted to meet her and that this was what I was holding in my heart. And this has carried me through these years. And I love that picture of Spring with Genia. I actually don't have a picture with her, but Spring does. And that almost means more because that was the ripple effect of my trip to Haiti. Yeah, and it was only 1 year. Oh, it was only 1 year after I had met her the first time. Melanie?
I forgot about the recording, so rather than just type mine, I'll share as well. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So yes, I was thinking maybe we could create a post in the Mighty Network to say, feel free to throw out fun ideas below of how you're going to promote Guatemala ahead of time, what things you're going to put into place that you'll be prepared for once you're there and afterwards, and then to borrow them from each other. But one of the things that I've done whenever we have specific focuses with marketing and Trades of Hope is search Guatemala on your Facebook page. And I think you'll be surprised by the number of people who've gone there, who know someone from there, who have a connection and or a heart for it. And then those are people that you can kind of reach out to, invite into your VIP group, and start sharing that, maybe tag them in one of your Guatemala posts. And then the coffee focus, I don't know the exact itinerary, but if it's similar to when we went, Erin, that was probably one of my favorite experiences, was being in the plantation, getting to do, like, who gets to taste coffee in a plantation. Meeting Pobbs is going to be one of the best days of your life. He's amazing. And he's so funny and charming but knows so much. And he and Sarah's heart, and you guys are going to get to meet Natalia. They just announced that they were pregnant when we were there with Natalia. So that was fun. And sharing the story of, how they changed the name of the coffee blend once Natalia was in the NICU. Brush up on some of those stories to share ahead of time, but you're going to get to meet them and take pictures with them. And it's going to be so great. And who doesn't love coffee? Everybody loves coffee. And so what can you do to make that fun in your VIP group, and get started on that? Maybe you do a coffee getaway when you get back, or whatever it is. Coffee, I think, would be a huge focus. And I do think that there's some real wisdom in the timing of these trips being in August to get us geared up for the holiday shopping season. And so much fruit can come from this. And I wish I would have thought, I used my Guatemala trip, like I still use it. Like I took pictures when we met the amazing girls. I'm not going to steal their thunder, but the amazing girls from Casa Hogar, they brought silver Sharpies and colored our fingerprints for the fingerprint jewelry. Do a focus on the fingerprint jewelry, remind people of the beauty and the story behind those. And we took pictures together, and then just you can do a whole thing on with, Fashion Revolution, the importance of upcycling materials so they don't, we have groups that upcycle. We have groups that do hand woven, traditional, generations passed down. There's so many different focuses that you can have. Start brainstorming those, start writing those things ahead of time. Start giving people a taste of it, and then your visit there, it's going to be like the fruition of these things you've already been educating people on. It's just, it's going to be so much fun. I'm so excited for you guys.
And that's really, and I'm going to I'll share all my notes from tonight too. And everything is all typed out. So pretty much everything that I've said is written down. So I'll share the Google Doc with you guys, so you don't have to write down every single little idea. And then, maybe we can, I think a post in Mighty would be great too. But yeah, it's all about building that momentum before I'm going, because the next space is I'm in Guatemala. That's the next really exciting thing. So some tips that I have for while you're actually there. So from a practical side, and I know Michelle kind of has done some trainings and conversations with you guys about clearing, probably I'm assuming clearing out your phone, making sure you've got a good way to take pictures and take videos. And you might even I have a teeny tiny little and I don't know, they probably sell something like this for phones, but an external hard drive even that you can take stuff off your phone at night and like upload to an external hard drive. I also have like the little portable batteries, because you don't know, and you certainly do not want to run out of battery or phone space at any point on this trip. And you want to be able to take as much video and footage as you can. So making sure your technology is in a good place. I would also grab a disposable camera. That has been so fun watching like the younger kids do this again. And I bought some for our trip to Mexico last year, and I loved the pictures. So just like an old school disposable camera, just for fun, just to have film camera shots, because you never know what'll pop up on it. So that's my other little random tip. So while you're there, a couple of things. You're not going to have really good Wi-Fi like out and about. So you're going to want to take videos and take pictures. And then it's really about an evening, giving yourself a little bit of time at night to do a download. And download means a lot of different things. So I would do like a daily diary on social media, share with your VIP group, like this daily highlights, use your stories a lot. If you don't use stories at all, this is a great opportunity to use your stories and then save them into a highlight on your Instagram. That's, Guatemala. So then you have it all for yourself too. And for other people that, if they go to your Instagram, they can always click on that and experience your trip with you anytime they want. But at the end of each day, I would go live, or I would go on my stories and just share just kind of the first things that were off the top of my head and how awesome it was, like before we would have dinner. But make sure you reflect personally each day on what your success means as a Trades of Hope partner for the women that you met that day. Because they're your business partners, and you're going to have this kind of awakening over and over again this week. Like we say it all the time, we talk about the dignified partnership, but there's going to be something that happens to you when you are in the moment with them, and you're like, oh my gosh, like this is what we do, and these are the women that we do it with. And I can't wait for you to have that experience multiple times, because it takes your breath away. It's amazing, and it just seals the deal. But make sure you're reflecting on that every day and reminding yourself, like, my success is her success. Like the literally the woman I just took a picture with and had this, great lunch with today, like, this is what it is. This is the dignified partnership. Write down raw thoughts as much as you can. Definitely journal, definitely write words everywhere. And especially at night when you get back. Record videos on the spot, capturing your heart and your emotions. Like you are walking through the coffee plantation. If you're overwhelmed by emotions, get it on camera, film it. Like, you walk out of the beautiful place where you're staying, and you're surrounded by this, gorgeous cobblestone, and, you're just feeling the volcanoes in the background, and you're feeling overwhelmed by like gratitude. Film it, like talk about it and share it, and be ready to tell people, because these are the things that make Trades of Hope. This is what I mean by like building your brand. It makes Trades of Hope something that you are experiencing that other people can experience with you. And that's really why we're a direct sales company, because they want to experience Trades of Hope through you. So capture as much of that as you can. And just keep reminding yourself that when women do this with you, so many more lives can change. That was my biggest conviction coming home from Haiti. Like, I have to come home and sponsor 40 people. And that's what I did. I sponsored 40 people and promoted to director from the time I got to Haiti, or went to Haiti, to the next 6 months later when I was at the next Inspire retreat. Have 40 direct to you. That's what Marianne told me to do. So that's what I did. I would love if everybody in this call was like, yeah, I should get 40 directs. I should do that between now and the end of the year. It will change everything. And, again, not about guilt. It's really about like, this is how you combat the guilt. Like you're going to walk out of this trip and be like, I gotta go. I gotta find the women to come do this with me, because I just learned something that everybody needs to know about. And I'm going to run with this. Melanie.
I didn't want to interrupt, but I wanted to add to, like, while you're there, part of what you're selling, and I don't use that in a schmoozy way, but you are selling the sisterhood. Like, you get to go to Guatemala with amazing women like you, and like the people who are going to be interested in your trip, and bond like no other. I mean, post COVID, who doesn't want like a girls' trip in a beautiful location, right? And we have that, but we have it in spades, because we're going with a purpose, and we're not going to rescue or help or you know, like the
Mhm.
traditional mission trips, we're literally going to see and meet our artisan partners and then come back and do the mission. And that's what I remember thinking when I went on my vision trips, like, oh, this is different than a missions trip. I'm not going to go do something for someone. I'm actually going to learn from them. And then I'm like, my mission is when I get back
Yes.
and I sell their products and I promote who they are and I talk about how amazing and inspiring they are. So you're selling the sisterhood and in the most genuine way possible. And there are people who are sitting there watching you. We all know what it's like to have like FOMO on Facebook. You see people doing these amazing things. Now you're the one doing the amazing thing. And it's not fake. It's not like just putting your best on. It is literally the coolest thing ever. And there are women who want to do this too. And you have to believe it. I know sponsoring is difficult. I know sponsoring, we can get in our head about it, but you are literally getting to do something that most amazing women like you would want to do if they could. And if these Guatemala trips are successful, there will be more, right? So you can invite people into this sisterhood to say that their opportunity could be coming. And so you really have to have that mindset of, oh my gosh, people want to do what I'm doing, and I'm offering them an opportunity to be part of a sisterhood that is like no other.
Mhm.
And I know direct sales companies say that, but we like mean it more than anyone else.
It's
If I can be
truer for
biased.
us. It's
Yes.
truer. And your dream team too. So that list that you make tonight, that list of women, the 10 women, you're communicating them with them while you're there too, right? You are sending them messages. You are sponsor them while you're in Guatemala. Best story ever. I sponsored 3 women while I was in Guatemala. How cool is that? I joined with Trades of Hope while my sponsor was in Guatemala. Tell them about the women you met that day. Tell them how much more partners would mean to the work that and the jobs that we're creating, and more opportunity for the incredible women that you're meeting. Tell them while you're there. So this is still, I'm in Guatemala and these are the things that I'm doing. And then every night, I'm pretty sure this will be facilitated by the group leaders, but every night you will have a powwow opportunity to really download and sit with each other. And again, this is where like the real like bonding in a unique way will occur. Make sure you are keeping, so confession, I'm not a huge like girls girl, right? Like it took me a long time to like chill out and have fun on trips or retreats or like anywhere. I was always like, this is work. What are we doing? We're goal setting. We're changing lives. What do we have? What is my goal? And so like it was Jill Butler who actually was like, you really need to bond with people. You really need to like connect with people and like talk about their lives. And I'm like, yeah, I just want to like be successful. I want to, but there's a balance. Okay. But I would say there's a balance. So this, while you are going to bond with each other on a personal level, remember it's a business trip still. Okay. Like, please promise me you won't go too far. And is this like therapy is important. Get therapy. But this trip, the intention of this trip is to make goals and be wildly successful when you get home from it. You've made an investment in your business by going on this trip. So take the opportunity when you're there to really powwow and make goals and have a plan for when you get home so that all of you can be wildly successful when you get back. So there's a balance. You can relax and have fun and whatever, become friends, like real friends. And I have real friends and I have plenty of real friends now, but like, you can, stay up a little bit later. I would always go to bed. Like, we're not talking about goals. I'm going to bed. But like, people can change. But there's a balance, but you have this opportunity. And I do encourage you to put on a little bit of a business mindset or a lot of a business mindset, coupled with making friends and all that. As you're going on this trip. So those are the things that I would do while I'm there. Shelby and I tomorrow are also going to recommend not running a party while you're there, right? The week before, the week after, heck yes. The week that you're there, you have lots of other things to think about and do and focus on. So don't book a party when you're in Guatemala. Sponsor 10 people, but don't book a party while you're in Guatemala. Okay. So those are all the kind of things while you're there. Just really sitting at the feet of the artisans, sitting with these women, not even sitting at the feet, sitting at the table with our artisan sisters and getting to know them, getting to know their stories, learning more, and just taking that into your heart. Okay. So then you get home. And really, you've done all the work. Like you've created the momentum, you have created the energy, you have gathered up the stuff, the content, you've got the stories, you've got the goals, you've got the relationships, you've got the parties on your calendar, because you're going to have so many parties on your calendar from this booking blitz that we're kicking off tomorrow. Before, during, not during, but before and after your trip, you are going to be ready to run. So when you get home, it is all about partying and sponsoring. It is about doing the two things that are the most impactful for the artisans that you literally just met the day before. Partying and sponsoring, like you are a boss, because you are, because now you've been to Guatemala, you have had this experience, you are the boss, and you are coming home and the work starts. Right? Like you've had all the fun, you've had all the excitement, you've built all the momentum, you've done all the things, you get home and you start working, you start partying and you start sponsoring. You should have lots of parties on your calendar from the minute you return, and you should sponsor that dream team. And by then it's what, like mid-August, and it's almost fall, and you start booking all the other parties because it's fall and you've got this momentum, and you're promoting to manager, you're promoting to senior, you're promoting to director. What are you promoting to this fall? You're getting paid. You are changing the face of Trades of Hope. This is my vision for you guys. And I know, this is the vision trip that I'm taking is this before, during, and after experience. And I know if I were to do it all again, I would take my own advice in these things. I would do things differently, and I would harness this opportunity in an even bigger, better way than I have in the past. Super grateful for the experiences that I've had. Have learned a lot, but I'm hoping that by equipping you a little bit more on the front end, that you're like, oh, I didn't think about that. Oh, I can do this. Oh, I can do that. And that you're really, really lit up to have this vision for this trip for yourself. Because every single one of you, all 54 of the women going on this trip, has equal opportunity to do all of these things, to create your brand with Trades of Hope, or to rebrand your business with Trades of Hope, and to come back with a completely different chapter having begun right now, because right now we're in the before. So those are the notes. Those are the things that I have. Do you guys have any questions? The other book I wanted to throw out, this is one, I haven't read it in a while, but I'm about to crack it back open again. If you can get over the title, it's really, really good. It's called Be a Recruiting Superstar. Bah. But Mary Christensen is the author, and it is really, really good. It's really good. Be a Recruiting Superstar. So you might want to grab that one too, but then definitely grab Chop Wood, Carry Water before the trip. But this one's fun. It breaks down all the things that you're like, oh, yep, that's my hang up. That's my problem with sponsoring. So just don't call it recruiting, and don't tell people you just read a book called Be a Recruiting Superstar. We'll just keep that between us. It's the worst. So anything else before we go? And Shelby and I will be on at 11 a.m. tomorrow. Again, you're probably gonna hear some of the same things, because this was all kind of from my—
I don't know how to raise my hand on the computer, but
yeah.
So I put it in the chat before, but so when I've gone on a missions trip in the past, somebody else did all the travel arrangements, and I just kind of had to follow along. I'm quite nervous about like actually arriving down there by myself. So I don't know if you have any tips on that or thoughts or whatever.
Oh, you'll be fine. Michelle has all of your flight information, right? So you guys are all probably getting in right around the same time. And I don't remember that the airport's real big.
Well, they suggested we try to get there in the afternoon, but we're all coming from different places. So we're traveling not on the same flights.
Yeah.
There's like a 6-hour gap between different people getting to the airport. So it's not like we're all getting there at the same time.
Well, there's like a little cafe kind of place that has jamon sandwiches, and I think you can sit there. We got there. I mean, yeah, we just sat in the little cafe area and waited for everybody else to arrive. It's a very small airport, like very small. So once you get through customs, you'll probably have found a couple of friends by then. Just look for the Trades of Hope bags, and you'll,
even like getting through customs, like I don't even know like what.
Just have your passport. and your
that.
bag.
I got it right here.
You'll be fine.
Right
You'll be
here.
fine. I mean, you'll 100% be fine. Spring, you want to speak to that?
Yeah, I was just going to say traveling, I've traveled with Gretchen a couple times now. Gretchen is so safety conscious of everybody. It's like no person left behind. You will be very well looked after. Whoever is responsible for that, I don't know. Is Michelle going on the trip, Erin? Do you know who's doing what?
I don't know who's on which
Well,
trip, but it's either
I-
Michelle, Gretchen, Stacy, or Elizabeth on all of the trips. So
Yeah, as it gets closer, they will, I'm sure, communicate what what you need to be looking for. Like it will be so organized. You will be very, very looked after. So I think part of what feels nervous to you is just, it is something new. It's something different. But the travel part is just like any other, travel. When you're in airports, you follow the signs, whatnot. And there's going to be you're probably going to find Trades of Hope people.
Yeah.
And like Erin said, follow the products. You'll see products. People will be wearing them. But I'm sure you'll be given contact information, ways for them to reach you. You will do wonderful.
And WhatsApp is a really good, if Michelle has not said that yet to the group, but I mean, I'm sure maybe she has suggested it, but having a group chat on WhatsApp is probably a really good idea for the group. So maybe I'll mention that to Michelle if she hasn't already organized that, but that's definitely something that'll be closer, but you'll be fine. I mean, like I said, it's a very small airport. You follow the signs and the other Americans, and you just stand in line, and it's a lot of hurry up and wait, like normal travel, and you'll be fine.
Your whole airplane will have to go through customs, so you'll just kind of follow everybody that's coming off that plane is going to all go through the same spot.
And they'll all be coming from wherever you're coming from, so it'll be other Americans, it'll be other, you'll be fine. Melanie, you want to?
Yeah, I was just going to add to that the reason why we're going to Guatemala first, after all of the kind of ban on travel, is it's the safest, easiest place. Gretchen and the team can do it with their eyes closed.
Yeah.
And yes, everyone's going to be doing the same thing as you. But it started to make me remember, you're already communicating with your team. Everybody's sending pictures at their own airports with their travel bag. Like, you're already, I'm remembering all those ways you start communicating. So the communication will be happening long before you get worried about, what do I do? Do I follow this? So you will be absolutely fine. The other thought that I had two thoughts. First of all, I was one of those that wasn't as great as Erin is about every night downloading like my little things, my VIP group. Sometimes I'm just, wherever I am, I'm all there. But the neat thing is, and I've learned this from following Elizabeth on Instagram, is you can recycle content for as long as you want. Like you can post about being in Guatemala after you're in Guatemala, and you can post about it the next year. Like, oh, I remember my Guatemala, so don't worry about like, if you don't get the timing quite right. There's a lot of grace in how you post and when you post and all that kind of stuff. But the thing I was going to add too is book parties like crazy, but you are now becoming an expert on something where you can offer to speak like at moms groups in your area of how to raise global kids, because now you are a world traveler. Like you can offer yourself to speak in certain locations on fair trade travel or, different things like that. So don't just look at it as home parties, but you now can speak in different locations that will be helpful in kind of spreading the word into new opportunities. So figure out a way that you can download your Guatemala experience as a speaking engagement and then offer yourself to, local kind of community things in your area.
Awesome. Abby?
Yeah, just a thought on that. I was talking to our AP Human Geography teacher at my school, and they cover fair trade and some of that stuff. And I was like, hey, I'm doing this thing. So if you can reach out to your local schools and see, that's already built into the curriculum for that class.
Awesome. Jody, you have to just get over that. So everybody that's going on trip with Jody, make her practice standing in front of the room, giving her Trades of Hope presentation. Yes. If our artisans can do it, you can do it. Clara, you will do it. After you see Clara share her story, she's super, super shy. You will be like, all right, if Clara can do it, I can do it. And you take a picture with her and you be like, I met this woman today. I know she is painfully shy, just like me. And look what she's doing. I can do it too.
I did just book my in-home party for like the first time in a very long time today. So
that's awesome. Just the beginning. All right. Bye, Melly. Anybody else have any questions? Or like I said, I'll share this all my notes in the Google Doc. And then Shelby and I are going to share a little bit more tomorrow. Again, more focused on partying. Some of the same thoughts, but there is a booking blitz that's kicking off tomorrow at 11 with our call, and it's going to go through Sunday, through the weekend. And it's kind of a competition between the different trips. So you'll be competing with each other, you'll be competing with the whole group, and then I think they're going to do something with like the trip that has like the most new bookings. So I think it'll be really, really fun. We brainstormed. I had a prize idea that Gretchen went for it first, and then she changed her mind. I was like, oh, but I'm still going to fight for this one like little idea for a prize that I think is really cool. So I'm just really excited. It's so different being in the space of not going on the trip, because I'm not thinking about a lot of the things that you got. Like, I'm not thinking about like what I'm wearing. I'm thinking about all the other things. But if you need any help with what you're wearing, I'm always happy to help with that. I would say Guatemala is super colorful, right? So don't compete too much. Like, color is great, but I would go with like more solids than patterns. Would you agree with that, Spring? Would you say like, yeah, it gets a little competitive with some of the color. Definitely wear color. My favorite outfit was that red skirt with the white blouse and then the hat. You definitely want to like utilize the fact that you're going to be in another country, and wearing hats is not weird. Like wear hats and plan photo shoots. I think I left that one off. That was one of my during. But I know Michelle has brought that up already with you guys, but planning time to take those pictures, going out in the mornings and going to, where is it? The Santa Catalina Arch, and taking lots of door pictures. I mean, you're gonna be walking down the road and be like, it's another beautiful door. And all the door metaphors, you know, walking through the door into the, you know, into the light, out of the darkness, into the, you know, whatever. So like, it's a hardcore door content. So utilize that too. All right. I'm so excited for you guys. I hope this was helpful tonight. I will share this recording with the group, and I will share the Google document as well. So if there's nothing else, I am going to end the call. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you in the morning. All right.